Hey, well, let's get this guitar tuned up for you. My name is Craig from the Primary Guitar Academy. Tuning is not that tricky, but if you haven't done it before, there are a few little tricks, and maybe you've tried to tune the guitar and it sounds worse than when you started. I'm going to show you what might be going on and how you can do this easily every single time. We're going to use an app because I can record my screen and show you exactly what's going on. Otherwise, these little guitar tuners, about $40, they're really good. They just go on the guitar and just pick up the vibration. So however you tune it is totally fine. Today, I'll share my screen with this app called Guitar Tuner. Okay, so basically I think the trick is, where people get it wrong, is you have to tune the string to the right note. I know that sounds simple, but sometimes if we see, so I get that in the middle line there where I'm aiming for, the A, but if this string is supposed to be a D and you tune it to an A, that's where it sounds wrong. So that's the most important thing, is to know what the strings are and where you're actually tuning it to. So really quickly, it's E, A, D, G, B, E. So the way I teach that to remember it is Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. A little bit morbid. Sometimes we change it to Eddie ate donuts, a good boy Eddie. But however you want to do it. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie, E, A, D, G, B, E, which means you need to be twisting this string till it becomes an E, that one to an A, and so on. So that's where we can get it wrong. Maybe we tune the D string to a G. So all we've got to do is twist these, they're called machine heads, tuning pegs, whatever you want to call them. And what we're doing is just releasing or tightening tension on that string. So if it's below, like you can hear that one's now below, it means this needs to be tightened up to an E. So we've got to get that frequency going at the right hertz there by tightening this string. So which way do I tighten it? That's a question I get all the time. Just have a listen. If you play it, and then twist it, you can hear that got lower. Means if you want to go higher, you got to go the other way. And then you just want to let that string ring out for a while so that it can actually hear it. And then we're just going to twist it as we're playing it until we get up to that E just there. Cool. Next one, A. So let me show you this. If I wanted to, I could tune this string to not an A. So I could go down and make that an E, and you'll see on the tuner here, down it goes. So I've now tuned that string to an E as well. So these now sound the same. But if we went to play a chord, even if our fingers are in the right place, the guitar sounds awful because I've tuned it to the wrong thing. So that's very important, and mostly why your guitar probably sounds bad if you try tuning it. You've got to tune to the right thing. So this needs to go up to an A. So the other tricky thing is you play a string and your tuner says that it's a G. How do you know whether you're supposed to go up or down to a D, right? Or something like that. Basically, it's just the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then it goes back. So if you want to get it, if you're on an A and you want to go to G, you've got to go lower. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it swoops back around to A. That was a bad example. That's probably the trickiest one. If you're at a C and you want to go to D, D is higher than C because it's above it in the alphabet, so you got to go up to the D. All right, so that's it's just think alphabet. The only one that'll trip you up is A, B, C, D, E, F, G flicks back to A. Might trip you up a little bit. Let's keep going here. We're up to the Eddie ate dynamite, the D string. He was pretty close. Next is the G. You can hear that's a little bit too sharp. Pull that down. The other thing that sometimes it doesn't work for the students I'm teaching when they're tuning is because they're doing really little ones like that, and they're trying to, and then they twist the peg. They're like, it's not showing up. Just give it some time. Make sure it's a nice clean hit and give it some time to ring out. And then while it's ringing is when you're twisting the tuning peg there. If you play it and then twist, you're just guessing. So as it's ringing out, if it rings out too much, it's going to get too quiet and the app won't pick it up. The phone apps use a microphone to get the tuning. These apps use the vibration, but either way, once there's not enough of that vibration, it's going to struggle to pick it up. So you got to re-hit it every now and again, but not really like that, and definitely not muted. So just give it a nice long. All right, next we're going 88 Dynamite Goodbye. We're going to a B. Beautiful. Next one is E. So there's actually two E's on the guitar. There's that bottom one and there's that top one. You can hear that top one is quite flat. Just going to twist that. Oh, now this app loves it when you get it in tune. It's very smart. It's like, oh, now you're in tune. Pay me to play some songs. You can hear we are now in tune. So the chords we play are going to sound nice. So just a quick recap, and then I'll quickly explain why you have to tune it often. 88 Dynamite Goodbye Eddie. That is so crucial to tuning guitar. So you'll notice when I tuned this one down to an E, I went lower. So what I see sometimes, and I've actually seen guitars break right in front of my face as kids do this. If that's supposed to be a D string. If you tighten that up to an E or an A or something, you just keep going, trying to get, it's not right, I'm just going to keep tightening it. You're putting so much tension on that string. One, the string can just break, hopefully. That's the easiest, cheapest option. But sometimes if you've tightened all the strings, and I've seen this, there's so much tension on the neck that it just begins to bow. It's got to go somewhere. So this neck begins to bend forward to make that string shorter. And you end up with a busted guitar. The strings end up really far off like that because your neck's so far forward. And you've basically ruined your guitar. It starts to split down there because there's too much pressure on it. So over tightening your strings is quite dangerous for the guitar. It's not so bad to loosen it off like I did before, but that's why I'm just going to go back to my D here. Very important to make sure you're tuning to the right note. These guitars are built for the size of the string to be on that note. You don't want to kind of push your boundaries there and tighten it too much. So that's one little thing. Why do you need to tune it all the time? I have kids say to me, oh, my dad tuned it last week, or I tuned it on the weekend, or you tuned it last week. A couple of things happening. First of all, we talked about tension. These strings are being held quite tight along this guitar. So as we play them, that tension just releases. Like you can imagine just holding tight, it just gets looser as the strings stretch, or just as that tension just kind of holds in time, they get a bit looser. So usually you'll find you're just tightening them up each time. If you've had strings on for 10 years or whatever, they're probably well and truly stretched. They're not going to go out of tune that much. They are going to sound awful, so just get some new strings. The other thing that happens, and this is a bit more subtle, if they're not stretching, temperature changes affect the wood. So because we're like, you can see I don't need to move that much for it to make a difference. If you are in a hot environment, say you've got heaters on in the house, and then you take your guitar into the car and it's a bit colder, what's going to happen is your wood's going to shrink a little bit on the guitar. This neck, the body, the whole thing, just a little bit is going to shrink, which is going to change the length and the tension of that string. So again, it's going to get looser, so we're going to have to tighten it up. Or the other way around, if it's a nice hot day, your guitar's been sitting in the hot car or in the sun or something, and then you bring it into an air-conditioned room, the wood on your guitar is going to expand, and again, it's just going to change it. So that's crazy because we can't see those changes, but they do make a difference to our strings. So it doesn't really matter if you tuned yesterday. You might be in luck, but generally you're going to have to tune almost every time you play your guitar. So that's why I wanted to do this little tutorial so that you know how to do it. You can just grab a phone app if you've got that. You can get them on your iPad or whatever. Or these little tuners are about $40 from any music store, and you can just turn those on, get it done. And that way when you're playing along with our jam tracks. I'm not quite in yet, am I? Oh, my A was a bit flat. When you're playing along with those jam tracks, it sounds nice and good. The other thing you'll notice, just quickly as I finish up, if your guitar was way out of tune and you tune it up straight away, your strings are going to revert back to where they were. So if you had one too tight, it's going to get really tight again. So if you've had to move something a long way, don't be surprised if you have to retune your guitar 3 or 4 times before it sounds great. But once those strings are in kind of the ballpark, you should just have to do little tunes like we did then, and you'll be on your way. Hopefully this was helpful. If you want to learn guitar from me, I actually teach an online course called the Primary Guitar Academy. There's a link below where you can check that out. Just go to the website and have a look. I could teach you how to play guitar. We start super, super simple, and then we build up and build up. My aim is to make you a confident guitarist, whether you are a kid starting out, you want to play guitar, whether you're a stay-at-home parent or a busy parent that just wants to do something creative, or whether it's been your bucket list thing to learn guitar and you've just never got around to it. I'd love to teach you. There's a link below. Check it out, and I'd love to see you in there. Anyway, get onto one of my jam tracks. Now that your guitar's in tune, come play a song with me.